In this presentation, we will learn a new concept called variable length arrays in C. So let's get started. Recall this program in which we have learned that how to reverse a series of numbers. If suppose we have this series and we want to reverse it, that means we want to print all these elements in reverse order, then we can do that by simply writing this piece of code. It says that start from index 8 and go down to index 0 and print all these elements in reverse order, right? We can see here I'm specifying the length at the time of compilation, that means at the time of creating the code. But what if user wants to specify this length? It would be much better, right? I don't have to fix this length in that case. For this purpose, I have to change this code a little. This is the piece of code which we have to focus on. Here I'm asking the user to enter the number of elements you want to reverse. Then user will enter the number of elements and then I will specify these number of elements as the length of the array. This array is then called variable length array. What does it mean? It simply means that the length of the array can vary according to the user. User can specify its own length at the time of execution. Then we can see in the rest of the code I'm asking the user to enter all the elements and then finally I will print all the elements in reverse order, right? So with the help of this piece of code, I would be able to print all the elements in reverse order which are entered by the user. Along with that, the length is also specified by the user. Now let's see what are the advantages of variable length arrays. At the time of execution, we can decide the length of the array. There is no need to specify the length of the array at the time of compilation. We can specify the length at the time of execution with the help of variable length arrays. Also, there is no need to choose the fixed length. As I've already talked about it, there is no need to choose the fixed length. Length is specified at the time of execution. Therefore, there is no need to fix the length while writing the code. Even arbitrary expressions are possible. Like for example, we can write these expressions and obviously the values to these variables are provided at the runtime. Okay. After discussing all these advantages, I would like to specify some points related to variable length arrays. Variable length arrays cannot have static storage duration. Recall that by simply specifying the static keyword in front of an object, that object will simply have the static storage duration. And it simply means that we can retain its value even after the scope in which it is declared is finished. Variable length arrays cannot have static storage duration. If we specify a static keyword in front of a variable length array, it will produce the error. The name itself suggests that the object must be static, but variable length arrays are dynamic in nature. This means length is changing according to the user, but for static storage, length must be fixed. Therefore, variable length arrays cannot have static storage duration. Okay. Also, variable length array does not have the initializer. We cannot initialize variable length arrays at the time of compilation. Again, with the same reason. Variable length arrays are dynamic in nature. At the time of execution itself, you are specifying the length, and at the time of execution, you have to enter all the elements. It is not the case that you are specifying the length at the time of execution and you want to initialize the array at the time of compilation. It does not make any sense. Therefore, variable length array does not have the initializer. Okay? If you try to initialize a variable length array, it will produce an error. Also, if you put a static keyword in front of a variable length array, then it will again produce the error. Okay friends, this is it for now. Thank you for watching this presentation.